seeing that it was in the last 2 years, previous 2 years was in Allentown in New York. I mean Orlando, New York, and now in Allentown. I think the conversation Nabil and I were having were, this would be wonderful to have in Toronto.
I remember when working with Mustafa to bring the games to Toronto and Brampton in 2015, he had sent us the bid application for the games. And opening it up with my brother, and we were like, this thing's 10, 11 pages long. And it ranged from questions about where the hotels will be, where the fields to be, to more about how much the cost of the fields will be, the cost of the hotels, the cost of food and photography and every other miscellaneous thing that goes in a tournament. And we had to break it down to how much it would cost per person, per family, to travel to Toronto, for their hotel costs, and for the event itself, how much it would cost per person.
Up until Allentown, we always worked in partnership with other institutions. But as we were planning for Toronto, we were at a crossroads whether to continue a similar path or to basically become independent and organize the event on our own. And given the challenge that we had up ahead of us, Umoja grew as an organization and took on that challenge and put that event together.
Toronto was a pivotal point where we turned and we grew as an organization. We matured and we recognized that for Umoja to be a success down the road, we had to find a facility that had multiple playing fields to accommodate all of the teams, the genders, and so forth, as well as hotels that were within striking distance, within even walking.
The opportunity that came out of it was that, okay, instead of reaching 2,000 people, 3,000 people, we actually reach more people because we're not tied to one place, or we're not tied to one organization.
The biggest challenges that come to mind for Toronto was the fields. And even though I didn't personally deal with the permits, my brother did, I had anxiety for him.
The challenge with the city is that you're asking for a one weekend tournament, and you're competing with all of the leagues that exist throughout the season. All the leagues that have existed for 15 years before you've shown up, and that some of these permits are already given out. That's one. The second is that there are tournaments that show up that are probably 10, 20 the size of Umoja. For example, the Special Olympics that were in that same weekend that required those fields. So it became a negotiation factor.
We had solidified Hershey Center, and as well as the across the street arena, which had ample amount of fields. And then halfway through, they're like, no, we can't do it. And then we had to go scramble to find some other. We found 2 other spots for the outdoor fields. And I remember one of them a couple weeks before the tournament was like, oh, we forgot we had a Special Olympics event booked on the Sunday on that one field. So that we had to reschedule the entire tournament.
The food, I think I still remember, we were trying to figure out how people are going to get fed. And the permitting was so difficult that we had to kind of park the car somewhere or truck somewhere to get to be fed. And it was like a logistical nightmare.
And then we struggled to find a suitable facility for the women's. Luckily, Wildwater Kingdom let their indoor dome stay up for an extra, I think a week or two. to allow for us to use it.
Basically, I was like, okay, when are you taking it down? And he was like, oh, I'm taking it down on Thursday or Friday. I'm like, okay, just keep it through the weekend and we will ensure that we pay for the full usage of it for 2 days. And like, just do it next week. Like, it's not a big deal. Because if you take it down, we're still going to rent it. And so then he's like, okay, fine.
I love when he does that. Good shoot! Oh, yeah!
That was something we really wanted to push for, having, expanding the ethnicity spectrum of participants that attend the Umoja games. That's and being able to have that and achieve it is something that is great. We got done for that year, but we've never looked back, and it's something that's actually been a huge asset to Umoja games.
We've converted a lot of guys that were playing other sports, tennis or basketball or ball hockey or whatever it may be, and they started loving the game and loving the competition, and the families would come, the moms would all be cheering, and it turned into such a beautiful event. And I knew from the bottom of my heart that if I could get the kid to come and the mom to come, that they would get addicted. It was over. You come once, you're gonna be there. They're gonna want to ask again and again. They'll be coming back, and that's what happened.
They can win.
In the middle.
Not be nervous.
Go middle.
They're nervous. Yeah.
Go.
Oh! Yeah!
I think that was the first year we started the toddler program, didn't we?
Yeah, it was. It was hilarious. We literally were on the side of the field while the games were going on, and we're doing warm-ups, running up and down, doing different stretches, and it was just so cute to see the kids. And then we played on the field after, and we did drills, and then played two setups. So it was like 4 teams, and we rotated them, and the parents were on the field. It was just like heartwarming to just see the balls go all over the place and everyone following one ball like it's a magnet. It was special. And I think that's probably what triggered us to continue with the toddler tournament. It was just so much fun.
We didn't expect much, right? And so they weren't even ready, right? They were wearing, pants and not even the right shoes, but just to see them out there and the smiles on their faces to play with other kids was a blessing and huge for me to see.
Man, we miss it. We're dying to go back. I mean, I'm on the soccer field with my son, just whatever, kicking the ball around. But man, Umoja is Umoja. There's nothing like it. It's incredible the number of people you see, friends you make, new friends, old friends you see. So, I mean, honestly, those are experiences that you'll never forget. Winning aside, I mean, that comes and goes. Winning is not everything, but those relationships, you see them, you feel so good. You see them every year, and that's what keeps us going, I guess. Knowing that everybody's okay and whatnot, especially with these times.
What I really enjoyed was seeing that it was a family event, that moms, dads, children, they're all able to participate at this tournament.
I think what we set out for and what I visioned for the tournament to being by bringing it into the GTA and Brampton and Toronto area was just a communal effect, right? People from all the parts of Toronto, GTHA, including Hamilton. We had some teams from Hamilton all the way out to Oshawa, Whitby area. There was participants coming from. Just coming together and, enjoying the game of soccer, enjoying the weekend with each other. And I remember the We the North chant at the closing ceremony by the boys team.
I thought it was really magical. The award ceremony and like just the chanting, just the cheering, right? I mean, there was some rivalry then about the U.S. and Canada.
Yeah, you could definitely sense it. But off the field, I feel like friendships have been formed. I know the boys they know of people from the Canadian teams that they see every year. And, they do socialize with each other. So I guess it's that on and off the field, you put on a different avatar.
One of my favorite memories at Umoja Games was being able to make stronger bonds with not only people from my team, but also people from other communities around the world.
But it's breathtaking to see the way in which the tournament over the years has accommodated to almost all age groups and both genders as well.
Toronto brought it full circle. We had the entire family division playing, from fathers and mothers and sons and daughters and the young little toddlers as well. It was just a whole dynamic family experience, and that has made us grow to the point that we are in right now.
So guys, we're going to have a competition, and the competition will dictate who is going to host Umoja Games 2016.